I must work hard if I'm to keep up. Well, it would seem your services were not required after all. I dare say we have Roban's prudence to thank for that. Still, I was glad of your presence. My thanks, Scion.
Thal's balls! So the story behind Thal's balls, by the way, is that they're big and... Okay, so... back when... Big and heavy! So back when they were initially pitching FF14 to Sony, Sony was going through this phase where all NPCs needed to have some sort of dialogue. They all needed to be able to be spoken to. I don't know, it was a weird phase. So, but the thing is, the designers of FF14 at the time, in their initial build that they were going to ship to Sony, no one said anything. At all. So you could like run past NPCs, you could right click on them, nothing. You could try to, select them with your, you could go and, press all your buttons on them and stuff. Nothing would happen. And so with Sony at the time, it was an automatic rejection if there was no dialogue with NPCs. So the designers of FF14 at the time, they said, oh, we need NPCs to say something, otherwise we'll fail this by default and our game will be rejected by Sony. We don't want that. So what are we going to do? Let's see. We need them to say things. Okay, so what is the big thing we can do? Well, we have a religion, right? Nullthal, and we're only showing Ul'dah in this press release. This release for the initial to get funding and all that good stuff. Let's see. What can we do? Let's think of all the curses that people say. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So the god is Thal. Then we have Null. Null doesn't really work with anything. Thal sort of sounds like ball, right? Thal's balls. And so they just had every single NPC that you could every single NPC. You'd walk up to them and you click on them and they just say Thal's balls, and that was it. So it's just one huge joke that has just followed the game all the way, and I think they still reference it even in later expansions, which is hilarious. All right, Ilbert, let's go. Our hunts for the Ivy begins in earnest, Scion. Suffice to say, we must tread warily. But one misstep may cost us our lives. Our business here is concluded for the time being. Let us return to the Rising Stones and report to Captain Levelier. Alright, sounds good. We return from Ul'dah, Commander. And not a moment too soon. Something has happened. Trouble? You will recall that the fourth was tasked with Okay, I know how to say this word, reconnoitering, and the rendezvous site with the Ivy's minions and his Imperial contacts. Soon after you left, we received word that the unit was ambushed en route to its destination. God damn it. According to one report, one of ours has been taken captive. The Guardians are not wont to treat their foemen with dignity, and I have grave fears for her safety. We must dispatch a rescue party at once. Recall those braves to our field. Begging your pardons, Commander, but we have not the time. I'm afraid I must ask for your aid once more, Scion. An ill-prepared rescue party will only serve to provide the Guardians with more captives. Yet time is of the essence. Simply put, you are the best chance we have. Captain Ilbert has the right of it. I trust you are willing? But of course you are. Now, Aliane and of the Fourth lies in wait in the tangle near the entrance to Castrum Sentry. Seek her out and she will appraise you of the situation. Would you aid us in our... You would aid us in the rescue mission? We're in your debt, Warrior of Light. Now, time is against us, so allow me to brief you on the situation. The Garleans fell upon us without warning, wounding poor Resh and hauling her away to the castrum yonder. Outnumbered as we were, it was all we could do to flee and regroup. Even as we speak, the Garleans are interrogating Resh, or worse. With her hurts, I fear that she will not long survive their attentions. We must rescue her without delay. Our order may yet be in its infancy, but the bonds that bind us is as strong as mithril. None of us will stand by while a comrade suffers. We, the remnants of the Fourth, will infiltrate Castrum Sentry. Please help us find Resh before it's too late. Right, let's switch over to Summoner. Summon Carbuncle. And, well, let's kill this guy for attacking us, shall we? Classes that you can do both. Hello, cohorts. Secutor. I guess we don't have Dragon Form yet. It's unfortunate. Hello, Ish. Where am I? Resh! Thank the gods we found you. And thank you, Warrior of Light. Now, to quit this accursed place. Resh cannot move with those wounds. She'll need to be carried out. I believe a diversion is in order. Might we trouble you to provide one? Given your reputation, I suspect the Garleans will be only too happy to grant you their undivided attention. If you were to create a commotion with the castrum, we should be able to steal away unnoticed. Let us speak again once we are safe outside these walls. Alright, well, we will use the skills we developed in Palace of the Dead. The Lullaby. Yeah. Highly leveled for this. Alright. Let's dance. Alright, Solaris, nice. We don't need to do anything else, we'll just kill them. And that should be that. Hello. Yeah, when you get Dragon Trance, that's much nicer. Alright, nice. Ooh. More want to dance. Well then, let's give them everything they ever wanted, shall we? Oh, right. Hello, Eliane. I've waited for your turn most anxiously, my friend. You've done us a great service indeed. Thanks to your aid, our comrade Resh is safe, and we suffered no further casualties. Words cannot express my gratitude. All that is left is to report the mission's success to Commander Lavalier. I shall go on ahead to the Rising Stones. Ah, it does me well to see you thus returned. Though I doubt your prowess, entering an enemy stronghold is generally considered to be a risky venture, and I must confess to having been a trifle anxious. But here you are, hale and whole, having succeeded in your mission, as is your wont. Lest you wonder, the woman you rescued is being cared for by the Delmans. Thanks to their expert administrations, the danger is past. You have my gratitude, Fen. Allow me to also thank you, Scion. Resh owes you her life. We escaped with minimal casualties this time, but we can ill afford to be caught off guard again. The Empire is not an opponent to be trifled with. As you say, Commander, I will see to it that the men keep their wits about them. And it may yet take time, but I will not rest until we have identified and apprehended the Ivy. I have every confidence that you will succeed, Captain. As for you, Fen, I realize you have scarce caught your breath, but I'm afraid that there's no rest for the weary. I require that you accompany me to Kurthus. I have been granted an audience with an Ishgardian dignitary, you see, and the man expressly requested your presence. Oh, do not look so surprised. You should be familiar with the trappings of fame by now. We shall depart as soon as you are ready. You got it, friendo. This is still level 50 stuff, so I'm pretty sure these stuff. We've been blessed with a rare opportunity, Fen. An audience with an ambassador of the Holy See of Ishgard. We are to treat with Sir Aymeric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, in Camp Dragonhead. It is considered a great honor to serve the Holy See directly as a Temple Knight. Needless to say, their leader wields tremendous political influence. We would be wise to court his favor. For that reason, I consider your attendance essential. If Sir Aymeric wishes to meet the man behind the legend, I would not deny him the pleasure of your company. The antecedents would see the antecedents should see the wisdom of this plan when you request her permission to accompany me to Kurthus. Mayhap you feel this to be a waste of your talents, which could doubtless be put to nobler use? If so, I should remind you that more good can be accomplished with the stroke of a pen than the thrust of a sword. This is actually quite true. A meeting with an Ishgardian ambassador? By all means, I think it is a wonderful idea. We have received no reports of etheric disturbances or unusual beast-trap activity as of late. If Alpino believes your presence may help him to secure more favorable terms, I see no reason to deny him. Antecedent? I take it Fen has explained the situation. He has. Yet welcome though these overtures are, I cannot help but wonder what prompted them. The Ishgardians have spurned all contact with the other city-states for decades. Why reach out now? With that I know. The question of their motives is one to which I have given no small amount of thought. Alas, I know no more than is generally known. The notoriously reclusive nation of Ishgard, situated at the center of Abalathia's spine, ruled by the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, at the head of which presides the Archbishop. Members of the original Eorzean Alliance formed at the wake of Alamigo's fall some 2 decades ago. Friends of convenience who withdrew from the Alliance as soon as the Imperial fleet was routed at the Battle of Silvertear Lake skies. Since which time their borders have remained closed to all outsiders. They have rejected every one of their former allies' calls to reopen dialogue, turning a deaf ear to their neighbors' pleas even when the calamity loomed large. And on the fields of Cartano, where brave men and women laid down their lives in defense of the realm, their banners were conspicuously absent. I have tried to convince Ishgar to rejoin the Alliance at every opportunity. I have explained over and over again that that unless Eorzea stands united, we cannot hope to preserve our freedom. One by one, all nations will fall, as once fell Alamigo. And what have mine efforts yielded? Why, not. Surely this can be considered a step in the right direction? I should hope so. Rather than the lowly messengers we have been fobbed off with in the past, this time we shall meet a man of genuine influence. Of course, I am not so naive as to think they will come to us out of the goodness of their hearts. We have something they desire, though I have yet to find out what. And such is the nature of diplomacy. They will bring their agendas to the negotiating table, and so will I, along with a handful of incontrovertible truths. The Empire will soon be at our doorstep once more. Indeed, you may be assured that I will expound upon this point and others. Let us depart for Camp Dragonhead, Fen. Our old friend Lord Harshaval is expecting us. I'm pretty sure that's not how you say his name, but maybe it is. Since our quest to recover the Enterprise, I understand you have further ingratiated yourself with the man. Excellent work. His fondness may prove useful to our cause. Weird, with the kind of weather outside, I would expect there to be some sort of vestibule that would make it a little bit nicer for these guys. Alright, Harshaval. Let's talk. Ah, Fen, ever a welcome sight. Our hearts have been stoked to blazing in preparation of your arrival. It would not do for such a distinguished patronage to catch cold whilst enjoying our hospitality. The gesture's much appreciated. I fear I shall ever struggle in cold climes. Ah, good Master Alphino. An honor, as always. Likewise, Lord Harshaval. Forgive us yet another imposition. I fear we have relied overmuch on your aid, since you so generously assisted us in locating the Enterprise. Nonsense. Any debts incurred have long since been repaid. Besides, who can say what the future may bring? House Fortems. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be House Fortem. House Fortem may ever seek the aid of your newly formed Crystal Braves. In any case, I am simply delighted that the Holy See is at last willing to grant you an audience. No doubt your discoveries at Snowcloak helped to justify the decision. This recent resurgence in heretical activity is of grave concern to us all. But to the matter at hand. Sir Aymeric arrived in Camp Dragonhead earlier, and I am told he is eager to meet with you at your first convenience. You are doubtless weary from your journey, and desirous to rest a while by the warmth of our hearth. But if you are willing to forgo such comforts, pray inform the knight stationed outside the intercessory? He will grant you entrance and send word to the other attendees. As inviting as your health sounds, I think it best proceed to the intercessory forthwith. Let's go. We have been expecting you, sir. Please take your ease inside, and I shall summon the others. Sounds good.
Have faith, my friend. You need only state your case with confidence and clarity.
Commander Leveilleur, it is both an honor and a pleasure to meet you. I am Aymeric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights.
Alphino Leveilleur, at your service. Your reputation precedes you, Sir Aymeric. I think we will find that we have much in common.
Speaking of reputations, yours towers over us all. Does it not?
It does indeed, Lord Commander.
I am not too proud to admit that I have followed your activities with an interest bordering on fascination. Full glad was I to learn that you would be joining us. Now then, shall we begin?
We know full well that the Garleans will return in force ere long. What is more, we have yet to achieve a lasting victory over the primal menace. The beast tribes continue to summon their gods, and each incarnation is stronger than the last. Ishgard is not immune to these threats. I must reiterate that it would behoove your nation to rejoin the Eorzean alliance.
Once again, I must respectfully disagree.
On what grounds?
Despite their presence in Kurthus, the Ixal do not concern us. Their territorial claims pertain to Gridanian lands, and it is the people of Gridania whom they harry. Consequently, the Holy See judges this to be a Gridanian affair, and Ishgard does not intervene in the internal affairs of other nations. Even were that not the case, our forces are wholly committed to the Dravanian conflict. We have not the knights to spare. As for the Garleans, we are not ignorant of history. We have observed the rise and expansion of the Empire, and we agree that it is only a matter of time before they resume their campaign in Eorzea.
Then surely it would be in our best interests to present a united front.
Mayhap one day, but not yet. Gaius van Belsar is dead, and the legion of conscripts he left behind lacks the will to fight. We think it highly unlikely that they will emerge from behind the walls of their castra for some time.
Forgive me, but if Ishgard's position has not changed, why did you agree to this meeting?
It was not only as a representative of Ishgard that I came here.
Pardon?
It is not within my power to change Ishgardian policy, regardless of my personal feelings. There is, however, one area in which I may exert a measure of influence. Concerns have been raised over the supplies House Fortin has offered to Revenant's Toll. These have led to calls for restrictions on the provision of aid to foreign powers. I can ensure that the shipments continue unabated.
Sir Aymeric, we would be in your debt.
No, you would not. For I require something in exchange. Of late, there has been a flurry of Dravanian activity, the purpose of which was not immediately clear. However, our astrologians have since observed alarming changes in the heavens. The dragon star waxes unnaturally bright, and there are whispers that it portends the resurrection of Midgard-Sorma.
The fallen guardian of Silvertear Falls? That's absurd.
Full many times have I gazed upon the dragon's corpse still wound around the Agrius, and wondered how different our world might be if it yet lived to plague the skies. I do not know, and I do not wish to know, nor does any son of Ishgard. Yet the mere presence of Dravanian forces is not sufficient grounds to send knights to Mordona, whatever our astrologians say. As I told you before, we have not the forces to spare.
But we do. So you will intervene on our behalf if we agree to watch over the Keeper of the Lake.
Do you accept these terms?
I do. I will see that you are kept abreast of any developments. I regret that we could not come to a similar agreement on other matters, but I understand that you are not at liberty to make such decisions. Nevertheless, I hope that what we have accomplished here today will serve to demonstrate to your countrymen that we can work together towards a common goal. Mayhap one day we shall look back on this moment as the first step towards a united Eorzea.
Mayhap we shall, Commander.
What is the meaning of this?
The caravan, my lord. It's been attacked. It was Iceheart, my lord.
What? By the Fury! All our precautions were for naught?
Alright, Elfino. What's up? Just when we were starting to make progress. And to make matters worse, the caravan they spoke of was bound for Revenant's Toll of all places. Honestly, were I so inclined, I should think the gods were conspiring against us. Happily, however, I am not. I would know more of this attack. Let us speak with Lord Hoshafon and find out what he has learned. My sincerest apologies for the interruption, my friends. But the situation is such that we must act swiftly. If you would be so kind as to elaborate. Iceheart's heretics fell upon the caravan bound for Revenant's Toll as it was passing through Boulder Downs. It was an ambush, swift and ruthless. In an instant, every knight was slain, every crate seized. Then, as quickly as they had appeared, they were gone. It would be an impossible feat without knowledge of the route. Knowledge to which only a select few are privy, I presume. Quite. We can pursue that avenue of inquiry in due course. It seems to me that examining the scene of the ambush should be our first concern. The trail is yet warm. We must act swiftly, as Lord Hoshafon said, lest crucial evidence be lost. You have a knack for discerning hidden truths, Sven. Why don't you go and inspect the ambush site in person? An excellent idea. Inform my men of your intent upon arrival, and they will gladly share their findings. Hello, House 410 Knights. Move along, adventurer. There's nothing for, Lord Hoshafon bids you speak with us. Then you must be, beg your pardon, scion. As you can see, they left nary a crate behind. Tipped the wagon for good measure, even. Whole thing's a bit odd, if you ask me. Would have been easier just to steal it. Though a damn sight harder to conceal it, I'll allow. Reckon they came prepared, probably with wagons of their own hidden way off. But pay no heed to my ramblings. Absent of proof, 'tis naught but speculation. Might be as a squire receiving care of the observatorium could tell you something more factual. That is, if he's awake. Unlike myself, he was there during the attack. Not that his presence amounted to much. Oh well. Is he in here? There he is! Hello, surviving squire. You come to ask me about the attack. We came upon them before the entrance, the Hall of Seven Echoes, pilgrims. We marked them as lost and ill-equipped with a journey further north. Alida called out to them. One stepped forward to answer. Slowly, she approached, her silver hair flowing in the wind like melting snow. Just a young girl, thought. Some poor lost lamb in search of salvation. Alida must have thought the same. Else, why would he let her draw so close? They exchanged some words I couldn't hear. She leaned forward, as if to kiss his cheek. And then he sighed and crumpled to the ground. I didn't know what had happened until I saw the snow turn red. And then there was red everywhere. It was red everywhere I looked. I tried to fight, but I took a blow to the head, and by the time I came to, the others were dead, and the heretics were unloading the wagon. I couldn't... I mean... They'd have killed me, so I just lay there and listened. Asgard's people spoke of deliverance and resurrection. They spoke of Shiva,